Well, now, this is it. Do not and never take any financial advice from your bank. I've said it clearly and I'm going to repeat it again. Never take any financial advice or never take any investment advice from your bank. You know why? You ain't gonna get the best option out there. And this is the point, and this is where most of the people, you get it wrong. You tend to confuse your bank with your friends. Listen, nobody puts all that systems in order just to make you successful, just to make you wealthy, just to make you rich and all those kind of things. No, that is someone's business. That is someone's investment. There is someone who at the back of that bank who has the interest of making the profit and what have you. Those are guys who are feeding their families. And that one thing that you're supposed to understand, it's an institution which is driven by the profit. It's a business that is driven by something called vitamin M. And that's money. Now you show up there, you take an advice innocently, you go ahead and invest, and well, fine, you'll be able to get a profit, but it is not the best out there you can ever get. And by the way, if you think I'm lying, do this. I mean, seriously, just play the damn game, okay? Just to verify whatever the good Joseph is saying. Show up to your bank and tell them or ask them, oh, wow, how are you guys? Whatever. I would like to invest on a money market fund and I would like to do this and that. And I was asking, how do I get started? And by the way, how is it? How does it go by? Definitely they will gonna talk about, hey, how about you pick a fixed deposit? You see, money market fund has its own ways, I don't know what, and such kind of things. How about you pick a fixed deposit? Because fixed deposit, your money is there, we're gonna earning you something. You can fix it in a period of time. You're not only fixing it, but again, you are saving it. And then when you start now talking the language of investment, like, okay, fine, what is the current inflation in Kenya as you speak? Okay, first of all, you ask them, like, how much do I stand to gain in terms of the interest rate? They tell you, wow, we can give you, wow, a clean, a sweet 6.5%. And then you're like, if you're smart, I'm telling you this because I did it. And then I was like, okay, fine. But the inflation in Kenya right now is around 7.67%. And you're giving me 6.5%. And I understand that is pre-tax, right? Yeah, that's pre-tax. So if you deduct the taxes, maybe that goes for all the way to 4.5% or around there. So then it means that I'm still below the inflation. Still, my money is losing value. And the moment they realize that you're now becoming smart, you know what exactly is going on. I remember exactly when I was opening my money market fund account, I show up to a bank. I wouldn't name the bank, but it's one of the biggest banks here in Kenya. And the moment they realize, like, they can no longer, sort of milk me from, or maybe take advantage of me or something of sort, then what they did, they said, like, okay, fine, you want to invest on money market fund? No problem. Then they just went to the computer, the president, then he gave me a very big discouraging form that I need to fill in for me to open a money market fund. I looked at the service that I've received, the kind of a form that I've received, and then I was like, okay, and then the guy just disappeared from the desk, and I was like, come on, if I'm not in a position to fill in this form, then whom can I even contact? Do you know what I did? I just left that form on top of the table and I went. That's a reality. Why? Because these people, what they do is that they don't want to help you. They really don't. They're not. For example, if you show up to a bank and say, like, hey, you know what, guys, I would like to. There was one client of mine who made that mistake. She showed up to a bank, and because she hears me talk about bills and bonds and what have you, she went to a bank and asked, hey, you know what exactly do I need for me to invest on these bills and bonds? And they're like, wow, that's an amazing idea. Fine, you can. Okay, how much are you intending to invest? I have like 2 million I want to invest. Oh, okay, fine, no problem then. So what we can do is that you just authorize us buying you a bill or a bond, whatever you want to invest. So you just authorize them, they give you that form, you jaza, and then you fill that form, that is, and then they go ahead and debit the money and invest on your behalf. You see what happens? The moment you do that, they usually get their money like upfront or something of sort. Now, after you investing with them, either they get the money upfront or the interest or the coupon rate that you'll be getting, they will be deducting from you. And again, they are selling you that bond. Probably they can sell you the bond that they have already bought. They sell sort of like a secondary market so that they get, I mean, like seriously, I understand, and I'm not saying that they are bad people by them doing that. They are there in business. Probably if you could be on the side that they are, you could do the same. I am not saying that we should grab shoulders, no. Let's just understand that everyone and anyone is aggressive, whether you're in the bank, whether you're in civilian, or whoever you are. Even our politicians and leaders, they are also people in mission or on mission and such kind of a thing. So it's good to understand that we are all selfish. Okay? Whether we representative and we represent an institution, whether at an individual level, whether we are family, whatever, the point remains that we are all selfish, and there is nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you go to somebody with this mentality of, hey, guess what? If I talk to these people, they're gonna give me the best idea. I'm gonna invest in the best way. That is exactly not what we do. And I always tell people, do not take an investment advice from the bank. All right? Or what you do is you go listen to them, listen to what they are having in terms of the different types of an accounts. And that's why you find like even when you're opening some bank accounts, they don't like reveal like everything that they have on the table unless you are smart and you understand, hey, this is in existence, that is in existence, and such is in existence. If you do not understand such things in existence, then you go ahead and miss a lot of things in a big time. So what I can advise you to do with this, respect them. They are great people. Don't like feel like they are your enemies. No. I mean, after all, we cannot keep our money in our houses and under our mattresses and what have you. They are okay. And I always say this, okay? That's what I always tell myself at the back of my mind. Yeah, my money is in the bank. Obviously, there's some cash, the little cash that is in the bank, because I always tell people it's good to make sure that you invest your money. But when I say invest your money, does not mean like you're supposed to kind of empty your coffers and you do not have the liquid purchasing power. That's what I have with the bank, and they can actually take it and lend to people. Let them benefit from that by virtue of them keeping that money for me, because it's a liability, and they can use what we call the fractional reserve by the Central Bank of Kenya. They are required, or they are, they are mandated to take that money and lend it out. It's okay, they can do that. But when it comes to any other option of them milking me, I'll try to minimize all those areas so that I remain in a situation whereby I stand to gain. Just like I said, it's an aggressive world. It's a world whereby everybody want to pull from their end, and it's an aggressive world whereby anybody is looking forward to making some cash. And never forget this, okay? In every deal, there is always a fool, and if you can't see any, you're the one. That's a reality. You're supposed to make sure at all the time you're vigilant. Always put your mouth where your money is, or put your money where your mouth is. Whatever it is easier for you, but make sure that the two meets each other. That is exactly what you do. And I always tell people, it is good when you take the financial advices from either people who have invested, somebody who do not have any conflict of interest, do not represent an institution like a bank or something of sort, but is an individual. Sometimes also you should be very careful when you're taking investment advice from institutions like we may have these agents who walk to you, tell you can subscribe to this, I don't know, policies, I don't know what, and that kind of things. You're supposed to be very cautious. And if you want to know it's true, they are gaining something out of you investing, and it's quite a big one, they kind of follow you up like a million times, like, hey, what did you say? Are you okay? Why aren't you topping up on what you opened? Why aren't you doing this? Hey, come on, top up. You see, when you delay, you do this. And you're like, fine, you guys, you told me I'm benefiting out of these things, but it seems as if you guys are the one who are benefiting, because you're really pushing out these things like you want me to grab it like right now. So you kind of ask yourself now, who is really benefiting out of this thing? It makes me feel like you're the one who is benefiting, because you're really pushing out there. I mean, are you so concerned about my success to that point that you can call me like all the time and any time at given time and something of sort? So it's also good to be careful when you meet these agents of investments. If you can be able, and I always ask people, for example, if you can be able to invest on the treasury bills from the primary level. So unless maybe the opportunity just missed you and you didn't have the opportunity to grab that investment, that's the time you can approach it from the secondary market. But if you're in a position to, of which it is not a complicated process for you to invest on what we call the primary way of the bills and the bonds. And I'm picking it as an example. You go ahead and invest it by yourself. You don't have to wait somebody to come and tell you, do this, hey, pay me, do you get what I'm saying? Like when I say pay me, I mean like, by virtue of you not opening your account, then just order your money to be debited from your account, and then I invest that on your behalf, and then we'll be earning with you. No, come on. You just go invest by yourself. Only thing that you need to have is approach your financial advisor, ask them, explain your situation, and then let them know what you're aiming to get. Where you are in terms, do you want to focus on growing money, storing money? You want to focus on asset? You want to focus on cash flow? Let them know exactly where you are. Then they can propose you a package that you can be able to use that can actually be beneficial to you. And I always say this, rather pay a neutral individual who is out there, who does not have any conflict of interest, and again, go ahead and invest by yourself. That's where you actually know that you're gonna get the best deal out there. That is exactly how we go about it. So what exactly am I talking on this video? Be very careful where and how you get the financial or investment advices. And again, do not get investment advice from these people who sell the idea of getting rich quick. This idea of, hey, guess what? You invest this amount of money. Some of the numbers do not even make any sense. And I always wonder, how do you even took that or take that advice of investment? Somebody is telling you, if you invest, I don't know, 10K, you start to gain like maybe let's say 1,500 in a day. Really? Do you know what it takes to get this amount of? Do you know? You people, for example, say someone tells you to invest 10,000, you get 1,500 per day. That's like 45,000 a month. 45,000 a month. You mean you want to break even this amount of money in 4 days? Actually, in 3 days, if you ask me. Or no, not 3 days, but rather in sort of, let's say, less than 10 days, you break even and you get your money back. And you know what that means? The principle of investment says that when you invest $1 million, Bob, should give you 10K or 10,000 at the end of the month. Your 1,000 or 10,000 rather is giving you 45,000. Now you telling me, surely, where are they investing this money? For them to acquire their profit, and also because definitely when they are giving you 1,500, they ought to make them some profit. Because again, they're not there just to make you rich. Nobody's in a business of making you rich. Everyone is in a business of making themselves rich. That's a reality. Like, again, don't forget that people are selfish. And if you understand that people are selfish, you know how to approach them. So if someone tells you to invest this amount of money, get this amount of money daily. So you, because you are greedy or you have the greed, you just concentrate on you making 1,500. Don't even ask yourself, how are they investing this amount of money? How are they investing it so that they can get, probably when they're giving you 1,500, maybe let's say even they're making half of this. So they're making over 2,000 in a day using 10,000. I mean, if you ask me, I would concentrate on what they do. I do what they do rather than me giving them money. You get what I'm saying? Because in the principle of investment, this does not apply. This is close to being a scam. This is actually close to being a dream. Okay, fine. I'm not saying that you can't get this. Maybe you can be extremely lucky, but the moment it violates the principle of investment, at this particular level, I say now you're focusing on a thing that's gonna make you rich quick. And in this particular situation, you are gone. And listen, one thing. The moment you get this kind of a vibe and you feel like you are, you're so happy and all those kind of things, you don't even need to call somebody like a financial advisor to ask whether this thing is real and all those kind of things. You want to go ahead there and invest into surprise us one day, with a Range Rover and something of sort. So instead of you surprising us, you get surprised. After some few days, the money is gone, or maybe a month or something, the money is gone. You start crying. I had a client who called me and I was so much sort of distressed, because she was telling me she got a loan from a group and she invested in such kind of scenarios. The money went, the business is not doing okay, and she's about to pay that money, but she doesn't have the money and she's actually confused. She don't know exactly what to do. This is when you take some of the investments method from just crooked people in there in the society who do not even know who they are and how they do their things. And by the time you realize, your money is gone, you've squandered. You've not only lost your time, but the money at the same time because of greed. Love and learn to understand the principles of investment. That's the thing, and that's the reality. All right. So anyway, guys, guess what? Today is on 10th of March. Just like I said, we're gonna be having a session on Google Meet video call where I'm gonna be talking about investments. And if you wanna be a part of that session, you're gonna go for 2 days. And it's gonna start today on 10th March of 2024. It's gonna be there from 7:30 all the way to 8:45 p.m. So if you wanna be part of that, hey, come on and pick that number of mine, shoot me a call or a text, and then we can be able to go ahead and add you. The cost only goes for 2,000 for the entire 2 days. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one. See you in the next one.